Consumer Price Index latest news. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, MOSPI, has released a new India Consumer Price Index, CPI, series with 2024 as the base year, reporting retail inflation at 2.75% in January. Understanding the Consumer Price Index in India. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, is the primary measure of retail inflation in India. It tracks changes in the prices of goods and services consumed by households and is used by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, to frame monetary policy under the inflation targeting framework. CPI reflects the cost of living and directly affects interest rates, wages, pensions, and government welfare schemes. It is based on a basket of goods and services that represents typical household consumption patterns. Since consumption habits change over time due to income growth, technological shifts, and urbanization, the CPI basket must be periodically revised. Without such revisions, the index may misrepresent actual inflation trends. Key features of the new CPI series. Updated base year. The base year has been revised to 2024. A base year acts as a reference point against which price changes are measured. Updating it ensures that inflation calculations reflect contemporary consumption patterns rather than outdated ones. Revised consumption basket. The new CPI includes goods and services that households currently consume and excludes obsolete items. For example, older items such as CDs and DVDs have been replaced with modern electronics such as headphones, earphones, and Bluetooth devices. This reflects the digital transformation of Indian households and makes inflation measurement more realistic. Retail inflation in January. According to the new CPI series, retail inflation stood at 2.75% in January. However, direct comparison with previous months under the old CPI series is statistically inappropriate due to differences in basket composition and methodology. The apples to oranges problem. One major issue raised by analysts is the comparability of inflation rates under the old and new series. Under the old CPI, December inflation was recorded at 1.33%. Comparing that figure directly with January's 2.75% under the new series would be misleading because some goods have been added or removed. Weightages assigned to categories have changed. Data sources and price collection methods have been revised. This is similar to comparing two different baskets of goods. The underlying components differ, so inflation outcomes may vary even if price trends remain stable. The back series debate. To address comparability concerns, MOSPI has released a back series of headline index numbers going back to 2013. However, experts caution that this back series is largely mechanical. It applies linking factors to adjust old data, but does not reconstruct the old basket using new consumption patterns. For example, December 2025 inflation under the new series would be 1.17%, compared to 1.33% under the old series. Over 2025, the average inflation rate remains broadly similar at around 2.2% under both series. Yet, economists argue that a more detailed back series requires deeper methodological work, especially given changes in item inclusion and exclusion, market coverage, data collection processes, changes in the weight of food, gold, and silver, reduced weight of food. Food items now carry a lower weight in the CPI basket compared to the previous series. This reflects rising incomes and diversification of household expenditure towards services and non-food items. A lower food weight could potentially reduce volatility in headline inflation, as food prices are typically more sensitive to monsoon conditions and supply shocks. Revised weight of gold and silver. In the old CPI, gold had a weight of 1.08% and silver 0.11%. In the new CPI, gold/diamond/platinum jewelry together account for 0.62%, while silver jewelry accounts for 0.31%. Although their combined weight remains important, gold's individual weight has reduced. Interestingly, global gold and silver prices saw sharp increases: gold inflation at 69% and silver at 97% during December 2025. If these were excluded, CPI inflation in December 2025 would have been just 0.26% instead of 1.33%. This shows how commodity price shocks can significantly influence headline inflation. Implications for monetary policy. The new CPI series has several policy implications. Improved accuracy: it better reflects actual household spending patterns. Reduced food volatility: lower food weight may stabilize headline inflation. Core inflation insight: with changed weights, underlying core inflation trends may appear softer. Better policy calibration: RBI decisions on repo rates can be more aligned with real consumption dynamics. However, transitional confusion and data interpretation challenges may persist until a detailed back series is prepared.